ladies and gentlemen. We meet again towards Yom Kippur. And for a short idea, a sweet idea, but it's something a bit deeper than usual, but I think it'll help us prepare for this deep day, this significant day, which is Yom Kippur. General philosophy, I must tell you, narrows issues down to time and space. Everything in the world can be narrowed down either into a piece of time or into a piece of space. And that's how it works in general philosophy, whether it is Aristotelian, whether it's Cantonian, whatever it is throughout different ages. They spoke about time and space as the two basic components of reality. And in Jewish philosophy, they're the third component, the human being. The human being himself is a whole world. If you save one person's life, it's as if you've saved the whole world, because there is a third dimension to life. It's not just, the world is not just made of pieces of time and pieces of space, it's also the human beings. Now, we as Jewish people believe in Kedusha, in holiness. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave into the world, he injected into the world Kedusha, sanctity. And therefore, there are three types of sanctity. There is the sanctity of space, we have holy places, and there's sanctity of time, we have holy days and times, and then there are holy people. The holy people, the Kohen, the Levi, Israel, the holiness, sanctity of people. And then, having this understanding in the background, we understand what a tremendous day Yom Kippur is. Why is it so tremendous? Because it's the only day in the year that the holiest man, meaning the Kohen Gadol, goes into the holiest place, which is Kodesh HaKadosh, the holiest of holies, and he does that on Yom Kippur, which is the holiest day of the year. So this is kind of high voltage. This is spiritual high voltage. We don't get any higher than that. So what really happened inside the Kodesh Kodashim on Yom Kippur with the Kohen Gadol? What happened there? So the Talmud tells us. The Talmud tells us in Yomo, page Nun Gimel, 53, in the Gemara. One of the outstanding things he does is he has a short prayer. He isn't in there for a long time. And one of the prayers is, Shelo tishama tfilatan shel ovrei drachim. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu should please not listen to the people who are traveling. 1 minute. When I'm traveling, I feel I'm in danger. So I pray with even more kavanah, with more intention. Why should HaKadosh Baruch Hu not listen to the prayers of the travelers? So the explanation is that whether you're traveling by foot or by bicycle or by car or by bus or by train or by airplane, the most disturbing thing is rain, is bad weather. And people pray that, I don't travel so much. Why should it rain exactly on the day that I'm traveling? So when I'm traveling, it shouldn't rain. But if everybody prays that on the day that they're traveling, it doesn't rain, so it'll never rain. It'll never rain. And we need rain. Water is the key of life. Nothing grows in the world without water. We need this rain. And therefore, he has to go in to the holiest man, in the holiest place, the holiest time. He has to save the rain of the year by requesting that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should not listen to the prayers of people who are traveling, who want it not to rain. 1 minute. Have you ever seen busloads of people get off the bus and start praying that it shouldn't rain? Have you seen any individual praying that it shouldn't rain? It's not. I've never seen such a prayer. It's not in our prayer book. It's not something we actually see. Where does prayer take place? It takes place deep inside our heart. Why should it rain exactly on my day, on the day that I'm traveling? Please, God, it shouldn't rain on the day of my travel. It happens very, very deep down in our heart. It's so deep down in our heart, that prayer, that only the holiest man and the holiest day and the holiest place can do something to try to stop it. To stop it. That means our prayers have to come from deep, deep inside. There's another interesting idea that relates to this, which is when Yaakov Avinu speaks to Yosef at the end of his life, and he's telling Yosef that he's giving him a present. What is the present? I'm giving you a present. You will be buried in the land of Israel, in Shechem, in Nablus. Why? Because that is a place that is already mine. Because with Shimon HaLevi, we actually captured it. So it's already ours. So I can already give it to you. I can't give you a place which is not ours yet. Only at the time of Joshua, of Yeshua, we went into the land of Israel and actually captured it. The whole land became ours. So he couldn't give him any other place, but he gave him a place that he knows it is ours already because it's already been captured, which is Nablus, which is Shechem. When the Pasuk says in Bereshis, chapter Memchet, Pasuk Karbeit, V'ani natati lecha Shechem echad al achecha, asher lakachti miyad ha'emori, becharbi ubekashti. I am giving you Shechem, which is the place, which is Nablus, as a place of burial for yourself. And we know later the bones of Joseph were taken by Bnei Yisrael when they were leaving Egypt, and they were taken all the way for the 40 years, and they were brought into the land of Israel. And the book of Joshua, they came in and they buried Joseph's bones in Shechem. So what is going on in this pasuk? What is this special present? Okay, it's a special present because that's all he has. He could only give him Shechem, but there is another reason. There is another reason. And the reason is brought down in Da'at Kenim Ba'alei Tosafot. We have Rashi. In the Gemara, we have Rashi, we have Tosafot. In the same way on Mikrot Gedolot, when we learn Chumash, we have Rashi, and then instead of Tosafot, it's Da'at Kenim Ba'alei Tosafot, who were grandchildren of Rashi, who were 2 generations later. So what do they say? They say something fantastic. They say, my dear son, Yosef, all the tragedies you had in your life were just because your brother sold you as a slave. Where did that happen? In Shechem, in Nablus. And therefore, the only place to fix something is where it went wrong. And therefore, in order to put things right for the record, you have to be buried in Shechem, in Nablus, to make right what they did wrong. May your brothers bury you in Nablus. Letaken b'makom shekilkel. Which is an interesting idea. But that also means to us, when we fix something, we can only fix it where it really went wrong. When we do tshuva, and we did a middeed that we regret, we're sorry about, the only way to fix it is where it went wrong. And where it went wrong was deep inside, was deep inside our mind, deep inside our heart. It's the motivation. In fact, Rashi says here, and he explains it, that bekashti is with my tefillah. So as a final idea, what is there in the word bekashti, which means my bow and arrow, that Rashi says that it means tefillah? So one explanation is the word bakasha is a request. So bakashti can also be by my request. That means I davened, and therefore we won the war there, and we captured Shechem. But there's a deeper meaning here. How does a bow and arrow work? A bow and arrow works as following. You have to pull back the string. And the more you pull back the string, the further away the arrow will get. And that is exactly how davening works. This idea I want to leave with you towards hours and hours of davening we have in front of us. The deeper inside our heart the davening comes from, like the people who are davening that it shouldn't rain, that only the Kohen Gadol on Yom Kippur and Kodesh HaKadoshim could try and stop it. The deeper inside our heart the davening really comes from, the further our davening will have an influence on Yerushalayim Shalom. So I'm wishing you all a meaningful Yom Kippur, and I'm wishing you all to be able to try and daven from the depth of our hearts. And the more we daven from deep in our heart, the further our tefillot will get. I'm wishing you all a lovely new year, a year of happiness, a year of health, a year of friendship, a year that HaKadosh Baruch Hu shall make all your dreams come true. And Amir Hashem will be seeing you soon. Kol Tov, Shabbat Shalom, and Gemar Chatima Tova.